I'm Darren.
I'm Derek.
And this is the Double D Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of We Review Wrestling Shows.
Yes.
Now, sorry, I gotta clean my glasses. We were supposed to be at this show. We've been promoting it for a while. Cincy Wrestling had a show December 17th. Holiday Havoc at the 20th Century Theater. We were supposed to make it. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make it because somebody's immune system is awful.
That was the first time I was sick in 2 years.
Darren got the flu. Tested positive Friday for the flu, so since I was around him on the Wednesday before, because we went to AEW, I didn't think it was safe for me to go and possibly infect people. Turns out I don't have the flu. Darren's feeling better now, so we're all good. But that's why we didn't make it. So we do apologize for not being able to make it. It is unfortunate. We were really looking forward to it. The good thing is that the show is available on YouTube for those that missed it, and there's commentary also provided with someone we know well, Sean Bossman.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't remember the other guy's name. I do apologize. Gotta get better at this fucking journalism thing.
Well, how are we supposed to remember the commentators' names?
The commentators are the best part of the show. The point is, that you can go and check it out, Cincy Wrestling on YouTube. You can go and you can watch the show. But make sure you watch our review of the show first, or after, actually. You can go over there real quick, but come back and you can listen to our review of the show. We're still going to review it. Unfortunately, like I said, though, we weren't able to be there, which is unfortunate. But I did take notes as if I were there.
I took some notes.
Yeah, he took some notes, too, so look at that.
For once.
Look at that. There's going to be more than just one person's opinion. In Darren's defense, though, he does pay attention to the shows we go to. He just doesn't write anything down. I do because I have the terrible memory. So if I don't write stuff down, I mean, we could have just watched it, and then I would come in here and try to do a review.
Memory fuck.
And I would forget. I have a terrible memory, so I make sure to write stuff down.
That and for the Battle on the Border events, I'm usually pushing buttons and shit. So it's a little bit harder to write stuff down than that.
Speaking of Battle on the Border, the last show that we did was it was still November, wasn't it? It was pre-Thanksgiving when we did this. I think it was released after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, something.
No, it wasn't pre-Thanksgiving.
No, it was filmed after Thanksgiving.
It was the week after Thanksgiving. I apologize. But either way, point is that when we did the last episode, December 17th was still the date that Battle on the Border was running a show. They have since canceled the show because they couldn't find a venue for the show. So now the 31st is the last show of the year. It's what you got. So there have been match announcements made and a couple of other announcements. First one, this is not breaking news. This has been on the Battle on the Border Facebook Brigade, on the VOTV Brigade's Facebook page. But if you don't follow that, then you don't know this. Dirtbag Dan has relinquished the hardcore title because he is unable to make it out here due to personal reasons.
Finally, he really got rid of it.
So he has relinquished the title, so now the title is vacant, which I'm assuming, I don't know this for sure, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that the 31st we'll probably have a new hardcore champion.
We should.
So what are your thoughts about that? I know that you've said some things controversially in the past. Dirtbag Dan called us out not too long ago, and Hooks made his challenge to Dirtbag Dan for the title. He shouted us out as well. I wasn't very happy that Hooks went here to make the announcement, but since then, we haven't seen him. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I still think he's ducking him, making excuses.
I can't wait to see Dirtbag Dan come back, and hopefully we get to see Dirtbag Dan and Hooks, and I will obviously take...
I don't think he's got it to go against Hooks.
I'm going to root for Dirtbag Dan specifically just because...
I didn't make this weapon that says, P.S. Screw Dirtbag Dan for no reason. And it not be used on Dirtbag Dan.
Hooks' signature's on there. So,
I mean, my other weapon, if they ever do that again, and if Dirtbag Dan finally gets the balls to go against Hooks, then maybe you can use it, or you duck it again a week before the show.
In all seriousness, though, hopefully everything in his personal life does
fan out.
Get better.
Yeah.
I won't get into the personal reasons, but well wishes to Dirtbag Dan. But in the world of wrestling, stop ducking him.
Stop ducking him.
There's real life and then there's wrestling life. In real life, hey, please, focus on your personal life. In wrestling life, though, hey, come on.
Quit ducking. What's going on?
Matches have been announced for the 31st. So the first one is the returning Shauna Reed against the returning Judy Hendricks for the UKW TV title, the United Kingdom Wrestling TV title. So that is that's a belt across the pond. over there where they call soccer football.
Wear their ass backwards in.
She is defending a title here, so that is pretty cool. December 31st, New Year's Eve. Make sure you come out and see it.
Can we also bring up a little bit that there's finally women wrestlers again?
Yeah, it's been a couple of shows since we've seen women wrestling, so I'm very excited to finally get to see that. Fun fact: first show that we went to was the last time that I no, it wasn't. I think it was.
No.
Well, it was the first time I saw Shauna Reed, so that's
yes.
we haven't seen Judy Hendricks wrestle, so we're excited to see that since we've been working with Battle on the Border. The other one was considered an appreciation match put together by Battle on the Border management. It is Super Oprah versus Congo Kong.
Super Oprah better win that match, or I'm pissed.
Say, this is something that we have a lot of interest in because we're big fans of Super Oprah over on this program.
Yes.
Congo Kong is intimidating and he's a little bit scary. So this is going to be a different type of match for Super Oprah, but they're both heavyweights. But I have to imagine that Congo Kong is the favorite coming into this match.
I don't know. I think Super Oprah's a lot faster than Congo Kong is, though.
Ooh, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I'm very excited. The more I think about it, like when I first seen it, I'm like, okay, this is cool. These are two like fan favorites. Like people, fan favorites. People hate Congo Kong. They like them. But the point is that they're two fan favorites. But it's just different styles. But the more I think about it, I'm like, oh, this is probably going to be match of the night.
It's going to be a good match. I guarantee that.
These are only the first two matches that have been announced. But I mean, I think this could be a sneak match of the night, in my opinion. And of course, also on the 31st, I'm assuming the Battle on the Border Hall of Fame will also be done that night as well. Shane Douglas, who I am repping the merch of today. I don't know if you can read it. I can't see from here, but it has all these wrestlers' name around it.
I was gonna say ass is pretty.
Harley Race, Buddy Rogers, Terry Funk, Dustin Rhodes, and then in the middle it says, "And they can all kiss my ass." This is a franchise Shane Douglas shirt, so repping the Shane Douglas.
You know who's going to not like that, right?
Oh, well, you can tell Papa Joe. You can tell Papa Joe,
he's not going to like you wearing that shirt, right?
They can go, listen, if you have problems with Shane Douglas, you have problems with Shane Douglas. It's just how it is.
Well, if I last recall, they called him old.
They did. They said he was
the last interview we had.
We did an interview post-match with them as well, and they were not happy. They did not like Shane Douglas.
So
bad dudes are bad dudes for a reason.
But the bad dudes are cool dudes. They're cool dudes.
So make sure you come out. Also, as well, on the 31st, we will announce who the first member in our Hall of Fame is. We have officially received our part of the award that we are going to be giving to the winner. And we're also going to have, I haven't said this yet, we said we're going to put it on the wall. There's going to be a big old plaque that will always be behind us from now on. And we're just going to add names to it as we go per year.
Yep.
That's what we're going to do. So that'll also be on the 31st. So make sure you come out. Cleves, Ohio, River's Edge. December 31st.
It's going to be an eventful event.
It's going to be crazy. I'm very excited for it.
I have a feeling you're not going to be displeased with the matches. I don't know what they all are, but I have a feeling that Denham's got some good matches probably going to be lining up.
Got something up his sleeve.
Oh, I guarantee it. And then we also need to figure out who the man in the mask is. I don't think we'll ever figure that out.
Yeah, we've still been on the case. Let's just say there's a reason we were at day jobs and do a podcast and that we're not detectives.
Yeah, we suck at detective work.
I mean, we went down every alley we possibly could have. And I'm just going to be honest with you. We're hitting nothing but dead ends. So if you know who the man in the mask is, make sure you hit us up on here. We'll get to the social media things later. I'm not going through all the social media right now. We'll just wait, just watch this, and then at the end you'll tell you how to.
Or comment about in that matter. Yeah.
Comment in the comment section below. If you're listening in audio, there's a new feature in the audio version on Spotify where we have like a Q&A. Go there and just say who you think the man in the mask is, or if you are yourself the man in the mask, please reveal yourself.
And if you do the Q, we'll do the A.
Yeah. All right. Now the most important thing though is that today we're going to be doing a review of Cincy Wrestling.
Time to get down to serious business here.
Again, apologies for not being able to make it. It really does suck. After watching this on their YouTube channel, I was even more upset that I got to miss it. But ultimately, like I said, health is important. I still have a little bit of a cold here, but I didn't want to get anybody infected. Who knew it? Luckily didn't have anything, but Darren was sick and not feeling good. Now he's feeling better, so we're ready to do this review. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to jump in. So the beginning match, the first matchup that we had in this was the Mr. Cincinnati match. The winner of that match can challenge for the Cincy Wrestling Championship anytime, anywhere. It's a 4-way elimination tables match. Now, I have never got to see a tables match in person at an indie show. Even I don't think I've ever seen a table. I've seen tables used, but never a table match. Even at an AEW show or whatever, professional Impact Wrestling, wherever I've been, I've never seen it live in person. So very upset that I got to miss this. So the first person that made their entrance in this match is Darren's personal favorite wrestler.
My least favorite.
Darren's favorite wrestler, Carson Drake. He was accompanied by Omega. The match goes as follows: the Golden State
Boy.
God,
Boy.
Carson Drake against the quintessential male Jake Shepard. Nice to see Jake Shepard back. Haven't seen him in a while.
Oh yeah, good time.
Adam Rorgis, sorry for mispronouncing your name. I believe I mispronounced your name a couple of weeks ago. And Madman Pondo, who is a local favorite. And I know why now after watching this match. Because Madman Pondo came to the ring with a stop sign and a baseball bat that had a saw blade inserted into the top of the baseball bat. I mean, that is the sign of if Madman Pondo, if Madman fits.
It was enough to scare Carson Drake away.
Well, I mean, it would scare most people away, I would imagine.
I think Carson Drake's just a wuss.
Well,
but that's just my opinion.
When the match starts, Carson Drake was claiming that he was the best wrestler in the world, but as soon as it started, of course, he rolled out of the ring and he tried to let the other competitors that were in the ring fight each other. What instead happened was that the fellow competitors came out of the ring, surrounded him, and then just unloaded on him. They started ping-ponging off, so it was like Madman Pondo, Adam, Jake, and they were just back and forth, back and forth.
Mind you, he went and he sat in a chair.
He did.
To watch.
He did. He was going to watch. I mean, it's smart tactics when you think about it. When you think about it, it is smart, right? You just let the other competitors just take each other out. Why would you get yourself involved? Let the madmen go in there and beat each other up, and you just let them do it yourself.
Then you're just going to piss them off.
Well,
then they're going to come and get your ass like they did.
That's exactly what happens.
That's because he wasn't using his brainicles. Had they stayed in the ring and just ran around the ring,
right,
they may not have fucked him up.
That's true. So, unfortunately for Carson Drake, Madman Pondo was the first one to get hands on him, which, sorry, Carson Drake, that you had to deal with that.
Well, you deserved it.
Madman Pondo fought him into a crowd and then was suplexed in the aisleway. There was something, Darren, I had to ask you about, because we watched this at different times. We both did watch it, though. How did you feel? Did you see the child get a good chop in on Carson Drake?
Yeah.
Were you a little jealous of that child?
Yes.
I thought that.
If I had a chance, I would chop the shit out of him.
I was watching this and I was like, oh, Darren's definitely.
Can we also bring up that how the frick did Carson Drake not get rug burn?
Well, he might.
Because that would look like it burned the shit out of you. Because it was right on the carpet.
It's very possible that he did. I haven't been in contact with him. I don't know.
I didn't see a red mark on his back, so I don't know.
Well, the Golden State God's just built different. I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe he just fell just right, luckily.
So, it is also important to mention during this that the tables were not actual tables. Because I was wondering this, because I've never seen a tables match at an indie show, and I thought maybe the reason was because tables were a little expensive or something, or from a financial point of view, or just illogical. I don't know. Instead, what Cincy Wrestling did was something that I never would have thought of, and that was use doors. So you might be thinking in your head, like, how would they use doors? We'll explain as we move on, but I just wanted to make that point because Pondo grabbed the saw blade as a weapon and used it on Jake Shepard's back at first. And then he grabbed the door and he threw it onto... Hold on, I might have missed my spot here.
You noob.
Well, I'm new at this, Well, I was down further. Pondo did. They were throwing doors at each other. Okay, that's the point.
Oh, we also missed a spot. Before Carson Drake sat down in chairs.
And we're going all over the place.
Well, we have to go back from the start. Hold on. Before Carson Drake sat in the chair, him and, what was that other dude's name?
I don't know who.
His partner.
Omega.
Yeah, came out and they put all the shit onto the...
Yeah, put all the...
Yeah, they put all the doors...
All the doors
put all the doors on the ring.
Right, yeah. Well, I didn't think we were going to have to give every secret.
Well, I just remembered it, so I had to reverse back. But anyways, continue.
So Pondo continues to use this saw blade bat as a weapon, and there's a point where Adam was Rorgis. Sorry, I don't have to keep saying the name. Was sitting on the apron and had his legs unfortunately spread out. And Madman Pondo takes the saw blade, runs it up the apron, and it. Sean Bossman actually gave it the best name ever, and that was called a Cincy circumcision. So shout out to Sean Bossman for that amazing that amazing, that amazing
Cincy
hit him right in the crotch,
circumcision.
you know, I mean, Cincy circumcision, that's a good name.
That or the gonad cutter. One of the two.
I like Cincy, yeah, so we get the Sean Boss man to come up with.
Well, Sean Bossman's badass, so that works.
He is certified.
Yes.
Pondo hit Rorgis, I'm so sorry, with a stop sign twice. The fans were bloodthirsty and asked for him to do it one more time.
Obviously, you have to.
So Pondo did end up eliminating Rorgis through a door, set up. I wrote down chair. A door set up wedged on two chairs. So there's the first competitor gone. Sorry, Adam.
Out.
You're out of here.
Out.
Crowds are yelling. They want to see blood. Like I said, this crowd is absolutely insane. Sad that I couldn't have been there for that. Let's see here, because I wrote down so much. Oh, the ref was knocked down at one point because Jake Shepard had Carson Drake up on his shoulders, swinging him around. Carson Drake's feet, hit the referee. So the referee goes down. He's like this against the ropes. He can't see what's going on. Well, while this is going on, Drake gets put through a door.
Yes.
Meaning that he should be eliminated.
Gone.
However, the referee didn't see it. So while this is happening, Omega kicks Madman Pondo in the head and moves the door to make it look like Madman Pondo was the one that ran through the table. Omega goes over and through the door. I'm just going to call it table because it's easier. Through the table. And then he moves the pieces over to make it look like Madman Pondo. And then he breaks the referee up. Referee sees it and says,
Yep.
Madman Pondo was eliminated. So that's how Madman Pondo was eliminated. Now I'm just going to throw out there that I think a rematch needs to be done because he was not actually put through the table.
And of course, he come out with Carson Drake.
Right, yeah, exactly.
The cheating king of wrestling.
Well, I mean, you know, there were doors. There was a stop sign with the baseball. There was a baseball bat with a saw blade.
That was allowed. The refs allowed it.
Well,
the refs allowed
I'm just saying, cheating. Is that even a thing?
No, of course not.
So now Madman Pondo's gone. So there really remains two people: Jake Shepard and Carson Drake. So they're going back and forth. They're fighting each other. You know, Drake is set up on the top rope by Jake Shepard, but Carson Drake, while he's up there, pulls out some brass knuckles from his tights, and he hits Shepard with the brass knuckles, and he falls through a door that was set up, a table that was set up, meaning that Carson Drake is Mr. Cincinnati and now has the ability to challenge for the Cincy wrestling title anytime, anywhere, as he pleases.
Only because he didn't do it fairly.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. So
brass knuckles are not legal in wrestling.
A stop sign.
It was approved by the refs.
Brass knuckles were fine.
The bullshit. Did the ref approve the brass knuckles?
I don't know. I don't know.
Was they hidden when he came in? Yes. He can't win fair.
Listen,
if you get a fair match, everybody gets checked really well for weapons. He will lose 99.9% of the time.
Whether or not it was fair or not doesn't matter. The point is
I've got noted that he cheated. Actually, it's noted
right there. Yeah, I see that.
So I got it noted.
The point is that he won.
And he's a wuss.
Okay, well, you know, that is neither here nor there.
But it's here.
I'm just
right now.
Advocate for Carson because I know that if he's watching this, I know what his responses. Well, I don't know.
I know what his responses will be, and he probably tries to play that mind trick, but I ain't dumb enough to fall for it, Carson.
Right.
I ain't gonna give you a break even on Cincy wrestling. Don't care.
He's got it out for me, man. I'm trying. So I'm just gonna try to read this almost word for word because otherwise I lose my place and then say stupid things that.
Damn, I'd have to have my glasses to try and read that.
Good thing
that's really small writing.
I have.
Yeah, that's really small writing.
I had to pause this video quite a few times to get notes in.
I paused too. My fucking notes are pathetic compared to yours.
I shouldn't write as much down as I do.
That was 2 notepads long.
Yeah, I shouldn't write as much down as I do, but I do. Okay.
That's good to have detail.
Moving on to round 2. I think we'll be able to get one more match in before we have to take a quick break.
Yes.
So this is round 1 of the Cruiserweight tournament to eventually crown the Cruiserweight champion in Cincy Wrestling. And it is Gaston LaRue versus Brennan Bates. Okay? So Gaston LaRue is Mr. By the Book. So that's someone you should really like, Darren. Someone who doesn't... He's by the book.
Yeah, knows the rules.
Knows the
Knows rules.
Brought his book of knowledge out with him.
That you might want to slap Carson with.
Oh, Brennan Bates grabs the microphone and he says that the real Queen City. We didn't grab the microphone. He told the announcer to say this. That the real Queen City is Charlotte, North Carolina. So that automatically made the fans in Cincy wrestling. What do you think about that? What do you think is the real Queen City? Do you think it's Cincinnati or do you think it's Charlottesville?
Cincinnati.
Right, of course, because it is, Brennan.
Charlottesville is just copycats.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah, Brennan.
So, Gaston LaRue had the offense early. LaRue grabs the book, but then Brennan slapped it out of his hands. And this made LaRue very upset. In fact, it made him so mad that he pulled out the Hulk Hogan point. Then he did a chop and wooed like Ric Flair. I mean, he's channeling the inner wrestling legends here. By the book. He's doing it by the book.
I'm going to say, man, you're doing it by the book, and you can actually win a match like that.
I don't know.
Go for it.
I don't know. Yeah, I want to be clear that I don't actually know if that was the intention, but when I was watching, I was like, oh shit, Hulk point Flair. Sean Bossman actually pointed it out. And then he did a chop, and I heard him woo, and the fans woo, and then he did a little Ric Flair walk. I'm like, he's literally channeling these interesting legends. He's Mr. By the Book for real. Action eventually goes out of the ring. Brennan was the first back in the ring, and when LaRue goes to get back in the ring, Brennan takes advantage of this spot and kicks the rope, which of course hit LaRue in the groin area, and now Brennan gets some offense in. I actually wrote down, this is funny, because I was trying to watch and write notes at the same time, so I was doing some. So I wrote, LaRue goes to get in ring, but Brennan kicks a rope when LaRue tries. Hurts balls. That's what I wrote down.
Hurts balls. It's quick and simple. Not nuts, balls.
So now there's some back and forth action. Eventually, Bates goes to the top rope. LaRue meets him up there, but gets pushed off. Bates go for a high risk move, but gets drop kicked out of the air by Gaston LaRue. LaRue hits a sling blade, shakes the ropes like the Ultimate Warrior used to do. I mean, he's literally channeling, like I said, all of these wrestling legends. He's channeling the power of Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, of Ultimate Warrior to try to Mr. By the win. You know, Mr. By the book. He
Ain't got no gas in it.
What does that even mean?
You said sling blade.
Oh. I was so confused. I was like, what?
Sorry, I had to. I couldn't help it. I was just waiting for the time to do it.
All right, so there's some back and forth action going on. Then there's some back and forth pinning. So there's a quick pin up by Gaston LaRue, and then there's Bates, and then 1, 2, 1, 2.
I couldn't even count how many times they did it.
They're going
It was
back.
so damn confusing.
They're going back and forth, just trying to get that quick little edge, you know, that win, that victory over the other. Finally, Bates does get the victory on these roll-ups thanks to a handful of tights. So I have to ask you, Darren, as somebody who really likes by the book and, you know, what are you doing? Adding notes?
Oh, no, I was fixing it.
Oh, what did you mess up on?
Well, on this one, I had take instead of takes.
Oh, Jesus.
Like a tard.
Well, anyway, my point is as somebody who promotes being by the book, what do you, there's 2 matches in a row now where people who are trying to play by the rules lose. What do you have to say about this? Is maybe being by the book against, you know, maybe that's counterproductive.
Maybe they're just not good enough.
Are you saying that, what?
Maybe they're playing by the book, but just not good enough.
Wow, you hear that?
I mean,
I hope Madman Pondo watches this.
Cheaters never win, but yet they're still winning. So that means the ones that aren't cheating aren't doing enough.
The saying is cheaters never prosper.
Well, then they're prospering still.
Well, I think the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, I just am saying that there are certain people who will do whatever it takes to win, and others who, yeah, they have their pride, they have honor. However,
Only a real man do it the right way.
So you're saying
whether they win or lose, they're still real men compared to Carson Drake.
Well, how come you're throwing all the shade at Carson Drake? What
Oh no, I'll hit a bunch of other ones too.
What about Brennan Bates? You got a handful of tights. What do you have to say about Brennan Bates?
I don't know him enough. But if he's a cheater, he's up on the list. I'll get him eventually. I'll get him eventually. Let's say him and Ledbetter, them 2 are the biggest cheaters in freaking indie wrestling right now.
Well, not to get sidetracked here, but yes, Ledbetter is kind of a cheater. I mean, he hid the brass knuckles or whatever it was into a suggestion.
It was our suggestion box. People were supposed to put suggestions, not brass knuckles.
That's neither here nor there.
Seen it.
The main point is that I'm just pointing out that this is 2 matches in a row now where someone literally called Mr. By the Book. And by the way, I want to make this also very clear. That first match, extremely entertaining. My favorite match of the night.
Hell, both of them were really entertaining.
And this match was also very, no, I was going to get there. I was saying it's 2 very entertaining matches. The first one, I mean, that's a hell of a way to open a wrestling show. Tables, doors, doesn't matter what it actually is. It was entertaining, and it was, a surprise finish. I felt Madman Pondo was the favorite coming into this, obviously, right?
I didn't even know who he was until this match.
I know because I follow so many. I've never seen him wrestle in person, so I do apologize for that. But I follow so many of these wrestling pages. I've heard the name. I've never seen him wrestle. This was the first time I've ever seen him on video or not. And I'm just saying, he's very talented. Would have thought he was the favorite coming into this. Carson Drake pulls out the victory. Then Gaston and Brendan Bates was also very entertaining. I don't know these two as well. I have friends with Gaston LaRue on Facebook, but I don't know these two extremely well. But I gotta say, I mean, it was very entertaining, and it's unfortunate that the match ending has to end this way. And then the questions, both matches, very entertaining matches, both ending in questionable ways, and it's unfortunate that entertaining matches like this have to get ruined by rule breakers. That's what the Double D podcast says.
Well, that's all right, because after the next match is a pretty decent match too.
Well, every match on this card was decent,
but it ends in the right way, and we'll get to that after our break. And our break is now over.
As you see, we have resupplied.
So we can also get into match number 3.
Match number 3. So this one was interesting because Walt Beasy came to the ring. Now, Walt Beasy said that he brought with him the best wrestler that the Hoosiers have to offer. Now, as a fellow Hoosier, this piqued my interest because I was like, oh, I'm a Hoosier. I live in Indiana. I was born in Cincinnati, but I live in Indiana. I was like, okay, let's see what the Hoosiers have to offer.
Yeah, see what we got.
Introduced Blake Wright.
That's right.
That's right. And then he proceeded to diss Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Which, I'm just saying, coming from an Indianapolis Colts fan, we don't have any room to make fun of quarterbacks, and I like Joe Burrow. But he issued an open challenge for the best that Ohio has to offer. So this is best Indiana has to offer, apparently, against the best Ohio has to offer, also apparently. I mean, I'm sure there's people who disagree with this, but I think that, I don't know Blake Wright either, so I can't say that he isn't or is the best. Right. But this is supposedly, he says he is the best that Indiana has to offer.
Which wrestler doesn't say they're the best, though?
That's also true.
I'm just saying,
So, who answered the open challenge, you might be wondering? It was Zach Wentz. Zachary Wentz, who, of course, is a member of the Rascals. You don't know who Zach Wentz is. He is a former Impact and NXT Tag Team Champion. So he's an established wrestler. I watched him on Impact Wrestling back in the day, a couple years ago. So Wright start off, and he's just being
He's just being a dick.
He's being straight disrespectful. And it almost seems like he's kind of writing off Wentz to begin this match. Wentz, he's quick, he's fast. I mean, he's
got the need for speed.
Dynamic, talented wrestler is what I wrote down.
You ain't gonna catch him.
Now, granted, like I said, I'm no Dave Meltzer up here. I don't know whether or not, I don't know talent from anything, but this is just my fan's point of view, okay?
Yeah.
Early in the match, Wentz is using his quickness and experience to his advantage.
Yeah.
Wright is using tactics that Darren loves so much, such as hair pulling and eye gouging,
of course,
to even the playing field. So again, this is another example of, this is the third match in a row where there's just some downright disrespectful things going on.
But it does throw a curveball later on.
He would be a huge fan of Ring of Honor, because that's what it's all about, shaking hands and stuff.
That's good.
Fight spills into the crowd outside of the ring, of course, because the crowd's not in the ring. I don't know why I wrote that down. The action goes back into the ring. Wright's in control. And there's obviously a size difference in this match. Wright is a bigger individual, and Zachary Wentz is a smaller, faster individual. So there is a size difference, and you would imagine that Wright is going to have to use that to his advantage. But Wentz also has somewhat of an advantage, his quickness. So there's two different things. You have a powerful individual and a quicker individual. And it's always that dynamic. Who's going to win? Is it power or speed? That's always what people want to know.
So the tortoise or the hare?
And it's starting to catch up to Wentz in this match. He is using his weight to his advantage and his size to his advantage. But Wentz does use his ring awareness and his acrobats to get back into the matchup. He has a slingshot,
off of the ropes. Only a 1 count on right after that move, which was quite shocking. There was a lot of offense from Wentz, and it was only a 1 count. So it was really starting to wonder, like, man, maybe that power difference is really going to make a difference in this matchup. But a huge super kick and a cutter from the third rope, or as Darren calls it, an RKO from the third rope, gave Wentz the victory, and he celebrated in the crowd. So overall, Ohio wins and Indiana loses, which sounds about right when it comes to things. Earlier, Joe Burrow was mentioning this, and if the Bengals played the Colts, Bengals would win. You know, if the Pacers would probably lose to a high school team in Ohio. You know, it's just Indiana's in a bad way right now. We don't have a baseball team.
What I gotta say is, honestly, the coolest ending I've ever seen.
It was a very cool ending.
It was really cool.
Zachary Wentz is he is a good wrestler, very good wrestler, and it showed in this match. Like I said, power, speed, which one wins this time? It was the speed. But Blake Wright, you know, listen, he gave him a real run for his money, and he really did. Excuse me, he really gave him a run. But overall, Zachary Wentz did get the victory. Our next matchup,
You'll know these two names.
you will. And this is, I really was excited to see this matchup because I'm a huge fan of both of these guys. I really am.
Both are very talented.
It is another first-round cruiserweight tournament match to crown the first-ever cruiserweight champion in Cincy history. It is Avery Hertz versus Justin Xavier. Again, we have talked very highly of these people on this podcast. In fact, we've actually interviewed Justin Xavier.
I was going to say he's been on the Double D podcast.
I was going to say, make sure you go and check it out.
Yes. It'll be later on in the thing.
But this easily could have been, and this is just in my eyes, and granted, I'm coming from very tinted glasses, rose-colored glasses on this one.
They look pretty clear to me.
Because I've seen these two in action in person, and I'm big fans of them. But I think this could have been a finale match for the Cruiserweight tournament, and I could have understood it. You know what I mean? So the fact that one of these guys have to go out in the first round is upsetting. But it's just the way wrestling works.
That's the way it rolls. That's the rules.
That's the rules. So, of course, there was a lot of back and forth action to start. High energy.
Clean match.
It was. This was your match. This was your best match.
It was the best match they had, the old ding dong show, man.
Because there was no trickery dickery going on. I like saying that, trickery dickery.
By the way, I forgot to tell you this before, though. The one that wasn't cheating won the last match, by the way.
Yeah, that was the first time when there was no cheating. That is true.
There you go. Go ahead and throw that out there. But anyway, get back to the...
Okay, let's see. Xavier gets early advantage in the matchup. Avery hits a move from the top rope to start gaining some momentum. A tornado DDT by Hertz really affected Justin Xavier in this matchup. Sean Bossman was pointing it out throughout the whole rest of this match. It seemed like Justin Xavier was kind of holding his neck. So it seemed like it's possible that he was injured during this. I hope it's not. But it did. He continued to fight on. But it did look like it really affected him. So that was a very good move by Avery Hertz. He pulled it off well. So if
it looked cool as shit.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. Both these competitors are amazing. And so I was no surprise, though. But like I said, tornado DDT, that looks like Hertz. A lot of torque on the neck. Landing straight on your head.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just hoping Justin Xavier's all right. But he did continue to fight on even though he was hurt. Avery whiffed on a top rope move, and Xavier super kicks him when he gets back to his feet. Then Xavier tried to go up on top rope, and he whiffs on a high-risk move, and that caused Avery Hertz to get the victory. So Avery Hertz moves on. Do you think that this is an upset by chance? Because both of these guys are new to the wrestling world. Xavier edges them out. Apologies. Just slightly off of experience, but these are both kind of newer competitors. They're bigger in the Cincinnati area. People really like them. But do you think would you consider this an upset?
Not really an upset. I think it was
50-50 between the two.
50-50 before the match even started. Because I've watched, like you said, we've watched both these wrestlers. And both of them are super talented. So
yeah.
I think it was 50-50 in the beginning. It might have been
kind of
an upset, but I would say it was mostly even matchup.
I'm not going to go as far as say it was an upset. I wasn't really rooting for anybody in this match. I was kind of rooting for Justin Xavier because we've interviewed him.
And so it was hard for me because I like them both.
But I really like Avery Hertz. I mean, we've talked really good about both of these guys. So, hey, like I said, hope Justin Xavier's okay. And this was a great match. This was probably my number 2 of the night, to be completely honest with you. But again, biased here. It was also a little bit shorter than I thought. But I do, again, think that a lot of that had to do with that possible neck injury that Justin Xavier got in this match because of that tornado DDT. I think if that move didn't happen, this could have... match outcome could have changed, match could have went on longer, but the moral of the story is that Avery Hertz Did he get that tornado DDT on? Game over.
Yes.
What's the Pac-Man death sound?
Something like
Isn't that it?
I think
That's
that.
sorry, Justin. Oh, dude, that's you know what? If someone ever fights Justin Xavier, they should have that sound play after he loses.
Hey, if he
Not
does
giving
it,
any ideas.
if he does it, Battle on the Border, I'll put it on my computer. I don't care. That'd be cool shit.
Now, this next matchup was for the Cincy Wrestling Tag Team Championships.
No, I've not heard of either one of these people.
It was against Infrared and GK Fam. Now, Piper from GK Fam came out and he said that his partner, unfortunately, what?
Oh shit, I fucked it up. Oh shit, it deleted it completely.
Oh
Never
my
mind.
god. What did you write down?
Nothing.
Okay.
Just go on.
Did you say the GK Ram? Is that what you
Maybe.
Come on, dude. Unbelievable.
It's the wrong fucking button.
Anyway.
Oh shit, you did see it.
Yeah, it's right there. Anyway, he said his partner was unable to compete, so he was willing to defend the titles, the tag titles, by himself. That's how little he was worried about Infrared. Which, I mean, I have never seen Infrared wrestle before this, so I was thinking, like, well, that's some real disrespect there by Piper, because, I mean, if you're saying, hey, I can beat both of you guys by myself with no partner, I mean, that's a lot of balls to say that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to have balls.
Gotta
Especially when
have
your
the
partner
confidence.
didn't come.
That is true. Well, I mean, yeah, and that does hurt.
But then...
The match started, but then Party Mike...
Curveball!
I was waiting for you, but we were going to be waiting here forever.
I was waiting for you to just...
Party Mike's music hits, and he says that he will be Piper's partner. So Piper says, you know what, fine, you know what, hey, I can use the help probably.
Confuses everyone.
So to make this
It
clear,
comes out.
writing these down and then trying to remember that, because again, I wasn't there and I'm new to these people, so I'm writing the names down. The members of Infrared are Logan James and Tyler Matrix.
You know more than I do.
I went back. I had to really listen.
Say, you know more than I do.
GK Fam is not usually Piper and Party Mike, but that is who it is in this matchup. So that is what we're going to be referring to in this matchup. Now, I'm also going to try to during this matchup, as I was writing, I'm like, I'm going to try in order to not confuse people, because some people who are watching this may not be used to the people who are in this match. So I wrote down less, but this was a very good match.
I have Party Mike on my Facebook.
Yeah, I do too.
She posts about him all the time.
I am a huge fan, by the way, of tag wrestling. Huge fan. I tag team wrestling is one of my favorite forms of wrestling outside of... Well, that's probably actually my favorite. That and like the high-flying matches and stuff. It's what I grew up on.
Is my favorite.
Yeah, it's what I grew up on. I grew up on Impact Wrestling. I mean, I watched WWE too growing up. In WWE, I always was like, well, they might have more solid storylines, but Impact Wrestling has the high-fly stuff. It's what I like to see it. And then tag team wrestling is definitely a close number 2, if not number 1.
That and tag team and high flying together.
That's even better, right?
That's why I like 2 certain people in the wrestling.
Yeah, the Hardys.
Yeah, the Hardys. Yeah.
Everybody knows. Well, yeah, the Hardys, the Young Bucks. It could be a lot. Excuse me, by the way. I don't know if the mics picked that up, but excuse me.
Yeah, the Hardys. They're always my favorite.
So Matrix gets the early advantage again. That's Infrared over Party Mike. Now the new tag team though starts working together, and it's they're working together pretty well throughout this matchup. Matrix had an impressive drop kick on Party Mike. Then Infrared just starts kind of abusing Party Mike. Party Mike was in the corner. He's in the wrong corner. He's kind of just getting teed off on. He really needed to make a tag here. Quick tags between Matrix and James, so they're just repeatedly getting fresh people in. So it's really hard for Party Mike. He can't catch his breath. He's getting beat up on. It's really tough for him to make a tag here. And it's not looking good for the tag team champions in this matchup at all. Party Mike was able to get in some offense and just enough to be able to tag Piper in, who starts just laying absolute waste to Infrared. I mean, he's going in there and he's laying waste to him. He's laying him on the ground. Piper was sitting on the top rope and Piper was sitting on top rope and James launched himself off of Matrix's back to deliver an impressive kick on Piper. So Piper's sitting up on the top rope and he was fighting with... I'm going to make sure I get the names right. Matrix. He was fighting with Tyler Matrix. Matrix ends up going down on his knees, so he's on like all fours. And James launches himself off of Matrix's back and kicks Piper, who's sitting on the top rope. Very impressive move. I gotta say, after this match, I'm a huge fan of Infrared. I really I really liked the this tag team. They were moving very well, and they're exactly the kind of wrestling that I like to see.
I've never even heard of them until
But weren't you impressed?
Yes.
And I'm impressed by GK Fam. I can't give too much though. I can't really give a true rating on GK Fam because he's tagging with Party Mike, who's not his normal partner. So I'm not saying I dislike GK Fam. I just can't really give them a true rating because I didn't get to see the full team. Just want to make that clear. So Piper's now on the outside. James launches over the ring post on all of the three members that were outside because again, Piper, Matrix, and Party Mike are all on the outside, and James launches himself over the ring post, kind of to the side, but over the ring post. Either way, very impressive move. Took out everybody. It was a high-risk move. That could have went wrong in a lot of ways, and he pulled it off perfectly.
Yes.
It was very impressive. But it does end in a double count-out because of this move. Because after this, they're trying to get back, and they're trying to just fighting each other, and by the time the referee is at 9, it's too late. 10, double count-out. So by rule, Infrared GK Fam retains the title. But I gotta tell you, I was very, very impressed by Infrared. Piper, after this, challenged Infrared for the titles again at the next Cincy Wrestling show in March, which we will be at unless this one catches a disease.
We will be there. Well, disease is an illness,
Starts,
not a disease.
If he catches a disease and he starts to spread it around to people and possibly puts people's lives in danger,
we'll be there
then we won't
regardless.
be there. But
Be ready to be diseased.
if he gets the flu again, he's going to start giving everybody the flu. So I was a huge fan of this matchup, though. Were you impressed by Infrared as well?
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a little confusing, but it was a good match.
It's confusing. I wasn't super confused while watching it. Trying to write notes down, though, and remembering people's names that I'm new to. And like in a couple of months, if we're continuing to work with Cincy Wrestling as far as doing reviews for their shows, it'll get a little bit easier because then we'll get used to the people.
Yeah.
Being new and trying to write down names, and now there's a new partner for a tag team. I'm
We didn't
like,
even
oh
know.
man, there's a lot going on here. But the match overall is really great. Again, make sure after this, or if you already have, you go over to Cincy Wrestling on YouTube and you subscribe to them, and you watch their past shows, you watch this show, you watch future things when they upload. I highly recommend this. This was a very good match, and I was very impressed by
Finish
it.
this one first, because there's a couple of more matches that are pretty good. Then you can jump over and do that.
No, I know. I'm just throwing it out there for people because they don't
Finish
forget.
this video first.
Hey, I know what I'm doing. I've only been doing this.
Finish this video first.
I've only been
Then
doing this
jump
for
over.
2 years, motherfucker.
Don't pause. Don't pause it. Just keep going.
Well, I said in the beginning if they wanted to go
All right,
there
we can-
first and then come back, and we'll pause for you.
We'll wait.
All right, the next one is a match that we have some interest in because we interviewed one of these people. It is Savion against Jake Christ. Now, again, I do apologize for not being there. When we interviewed Savion, I said that I was going to be the leader of the Savion section. Unfortunately, because of unforeseen circumstances. Is that better?
Go get your Savion shirt.
Unforeseen circumstances, we weren't able to make it. However, I didn't need to be there. Savion had plenty of people there.
Go get your Savion.
Not as many as I thought. We'll get to that in a minute.
Go get your Savion shirt.
You know what? Maybe you just don't get the flu. How about that?
Well, go get your Savion shirt.
Right now I am wearing Shane Douglas' shirt. Okay. You know what? Read my shirt. All right.
Still.
So this is basically a Dayton versus Cincy match, okay? Because Jay Chris is from Dayton. Savion is fairly local. He comes out to fairly local, and he's big time now. He's been on AEW a couple of times. He's been on WWE. He's been everywhere. He's going to be somebody in the future. And
He
on
is
this
somebody.
podcast. So make sure after this you go over and you check out that interview as well.
Pretty good interview, I think.
Jake is it was a great interview. I enjoyed it. Jake is a former X Division champion with
I'm not feeling that.
Impact Wrestling, and he's also this guy. He's a former X Division champion. He's also teamed with Sami Callihan in OVE, which is in Impact Wrestling Ohio versus everything. So it was really cool to see Jake Christ in this match because, again, I didn't grow up necessarily watching him because it was right at the tail end when I stopped watching Impact Wrestling, but it was really cool. My dad was a huge fan of OVE, so it was really cool to see this take place. But Jake did have the early advantage, and he's using his veteran knowledge to his advantage. Chris's manager, who I apologize, I think his name was Boyd Bobby. I know Bobby is for sure in his name, so that's what we're going to be referencing him as.
All right, Bobby.
But Chris' manager starts getting involved, and he keeps Savion from getting any real offense or momentum in the match. Just keeps kind of grabbing his leg, distracting him enough to get Jake Christ some offense in. Chris almost gets a victory after a super kick on Savion. Chris is dominating very early on in this match and was not looking good for Savion. But Savion starts fighting back, and a crossbody from the top rope almost gets the win for Savion, as well as a very well done suplex. Chris, back in control now, almost wins after a power bomb on Savion. Savion's a big guy. I mean, that's. I mean, I'm not. He's not fat at all. He's in great shape, but he's just a little bit bigger. I mean, he's a big guy getting up there. There's back and forth action. There's several big moves and close calls between both competitors throughout this whole match. Trying to write down notes for this would not do it justice, so I gave up. To just put into perspective why you should go over and watch this match, a holy shit chant starts. You don't hear holy shit chants unless something crazy is going on. Mm-hmm. So go over and check out this match. The notes don't do it justice. I barely wrote down anything because I was really enthralled in this matchup. And it's not that I wasn't enthralled in the other ones, but this one, just notes would not give it justice. I highly recommend this one. You go over, you watch it, but I will go ahead and just spoil the ending for you. But Savion does end up getting the victory after Bobby accidentally grabbed Chris' foot instead of Savion's, distracted Chris. Chris was looking at him like, what the fuck, bro?
That's why cheating don't get you nowhere.
That's right. And then eventually Savion performed a Canadian destroyer off of the top rope to get the victory.
That's why the winners always win.
So would you... And now again, this is another example now of someone who's not using backhanded ways to win matches winning. So this was a big one for you.
Yep, that was 2 W's.
Huh?
That's 2 W's
two
for
W's,
me.
2 W's for the good guys.
And then 3 W's.
Did you write down 2 W's for the good guys?
No, but it is 2 W's for the good guys.
Sorry, I had to wet my whistle there.
Then, match number 7.
The big one. How much time? Okay, 10 minutes.
Yeah, some time.
That should be plenty of time, I think. If not, we'll do a third part real quick. We're going to have to do a third part anyway.
Aaron Williams versus Dan Severn.
Now, this was for the Cincy Wrestling Championship match. Their former champion had to relinquish the title due to injury, so now this is an open grabs champion. Now, Dan Severn gained national media attention by coming back. Wrestling Inc. did an interview with him. It started making the rounds on Twitter. I was seeing it on there, and I don't follow like local indie wrestling promotions on my personal Twitter. That's more of a Facebook thing. So this was big time. I was seeing it. Mixed reactions from some, but I think the overwhelming majority of people, wrestling fans, are very excited to see Dan Severn back in. If you don't know who he is, he's a former UFC World Heavyweight Champion and an NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And I didn't know this, but Sean Bossman, throw a shout out to you again. In this, he said that he never was beaten for his NWA title. It was vacated because Impact Wrestling had bought NWA or was working with NWA. It was a merger, so it was vacated for that. So nobody has ever actually beat... He is still technically
the champion,
the NWA champion. So that's a conversation that has to be brought up by somebody. Me. I'll bring it up. Fans are definitely on the side of Dan Severn. Now, we have actually covered Aaron Williams on this show before. He had one of the best matches that I've seen all year, indie or pro, with Matt Taylor. It was an absolute banger of a show back in...
that was a fucking banger, bro.
That was in... What was that? What was the show? That place. It's next to, like, Milan.
Moores Hill.
Moores Hill Mayhem. Moores Hill Mayhem. Why are you transferring one thing from a cup, from a can to another
tequila.
Oh,
Pour too much tequila, goddammit.
Sorry, I'm actually doing my job.
I am. I'm doing my job.
But anyway, fans are definitely on the side of Dan Severn here. They don't like Aaron Williams. They want Dan Severn to walk out as Cincy Wrestling Champion. And don't let Dan Severn's age fool you. I don't know how old he is off the top of my head. Let me look it up real quick just so I know. But don't let his age fool you. He could still kick our ass probably.
He was still moving. He was still keeping up with him.
Let me, hold on. I just want to look it up real quick. 64. He's 64.
Let me see that young picture.
Yeah, look.
Holy shit.
Damn. But this man is not a man to be messed with. I mean, he trains police officers now.
He ain't gray in this one.
No, yeah, that's him younger.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's a badass, man. One of the first. He's in multiple. I think he's in the UFC Hall of Fame, I believe.
He's in wrestling and UFC, isn't he?
I think he's in a wrestling Hall of Fame as well. Not in the WWE Hall of Fame, but I think that'll change eventually here soon. But yeah, he will kick our asses. And personally, I do like Aaron Williams a lot. Like I said earlier, he was in a great match that we've seen. But the age difference was definitely playing a factor in this matchup. It was kind of going back and forth, though. I think Aaron Williams was a little bit. He was kind of coming into this matchup, and he was thinking like, "Oh, this is an older guy. I'm just going to wait him out." But Dan Severn, he
came out booming.
He's not messing around. But it was just kind of going a little slow at first, and it was starting to pick up, and then a very familiar siren sound.
You hear that stupid fucking siren.
And as soon as this happened, I knew. I was like, oh, Darren was probably thrilled because his favorite wrestler of all time came out. It was Carson Drake.
My phone about got rebroken.
And he said that he is cashing in his Mr. Cincinnati. I remember
I literally read it in my notes. Carson Drake interrupts match with this stupid siren.
So Carson Drake said he is cashing in that contract for anywhere, anytime. He's not wasting any time. Bold move. Very bold move considering Aaron Williams is very, very talented. Dan Severn's a legend, and again, looks like he kind of terrifies me. I'm going to be honest with you. He looks like he could still kick my ass.
I guarantee he could kick our ass.
There is no way, but Carson Drake does have Omega with him still, so that definitely
Still
helps.
an asshole move by Carson Drake. Got that in my notes.
So it's now a triple threat match.
Triple
some
threat because Carson's an ass.
Yeah, there's some back and forth between Williams and Severn who are just hitting Carson Drake. They don't want him in this matchup. They don't. They thought this was a one-on-one. Now you have this annoying guy who thinks he's the best ever out here, and that's just a distraction we don't need. But a low blow by Drake to Severn definitely changed the pace of this thing. But Williams is teeing off on Drake. Omega takes a chair on the outside of the ring and places it over Dan Severn and sits on it, so that eliminates Dan Severn. So you can tell that they were probably in the back for most of the night after the first match, kind of coming up with a plan of what they would do during this match.
How they were going to cheat in this match.
Eliminate Dan Severn, focus on Aaron Williams. And it's not because of any reason. Dan Severn, though, UFC legend, a wrestling legend, you just focus on one, it's better than both.
Of course Carson didn't want to go against him. That's why they trapped him.
Right. Severn starts fighting back against Omega and gets out from underneath the chair, and he starts teeing off on Omega. He said, listen, you ain't going to sit on me. Starts hitting his head against the post, starts chopping him.
Fucking him up.
He's fucking up Omega. He's trying to make things even.
While Aaron was whipping up on Carson.
William hits a frog splash on Carson Drake in the win, but Carson Drake ends up winning by pinfall to become the new Cincy wrestling champion because of Omega's interference.
His feet was on the ropes.
Well, here's the thing. Now, I purposely left that out because here's the thing.
Feet was on the ropes.
I think Carson Drake, we have documented your side of the story. Here's my side of the story.
Carson Drake wins because ref is bad and didn't see his feet on the ropes.
What I seen was different. Okay, what I seen was Carson Drake. He's the champion. He has the title now. I don't think
his feet was on the ropes.
I just let me
rewind the clip. We get on your phone and rewind the clip.
His
feet was on the ropes.
Drake won by pinfall. That's all I see.
My notes says otherwise.
Listen, I'm just saying, you guys go over Cincy Wrestling.
Feet was on the ropes.
You guys go back. You go over there and you can decide for yourselves your opinions on Carson Drake and the show as a total. But the proof is in the pudding here, Darren. Whether you like it or not, he is a heavyweight champion. You have no right now to diss on this man. He is a champion. He is proven.
And side note, Carson's cheated 2 times now. Just in this one show.
Okay, but here's the thing. Triple threat matches are no disqualification.
I'm pretty sure it says that he's a big pussy here, too. I think that's what it says. And can never be able to hold his own against nobody. Holy shit. That popped up out in the middle of nowhere on my computer screen.
There's a lot middle of nowhere. There's a lot of talking going on over here. I couldn't get that one open, so I had to move on to the next one. I'm just saying, go over, check it out, make sure that you guys have your own opinions. Don't take our words for it. You go over and you check it out. Also, while
somebody's just a kiss ass.
I'm not a kiss ass. I'm just saying that we know your side of the story. I can't continue to say, well, here's what Carson Drake apparently did. What the referee seen, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Blind.
All that matters at the end of the day is who was walking out with the title.
That ref should be fired.
Point is, it was a fantastic show. Make sure you go over to Cincy Wrestling on YouTube. Check them out. Subscribe to them. Watch their old stuff. Watch their new stuff. Also, go over to Facebook, Cincy Wrestling on Facebook, and make sure you give them a like. You follow them, and we will continue to promote their shows. While you're on Facebook, go to Battle on the Border Pro Wrestling on Facebook, give them a like, and follow them, and come out to the show in Cleves, December 31st. You can also follow BOTB Brigade on Facebook as well.
Damn, what do you want of the fucking commercials? We gotta talk fast. You ain't motherfucker don't understand nothing.
In audio, we got a little bit of time here.
We're doing another part.
I watched you. Oh, we are doing another part?
Oh, yeah, we have to do our socials.
No, I put that in the description.
Oh, fuck that. We cannot break a tradition. It's a double new podcast.
All right.
Well, we'll be back after this break.
And the break is over again.
Apologies for turning into a commercial on that last little bit there. I was just really in the zone. I was really feeling good about making sure my microphone's on. Hello?
I almost forgot to put mine on until I looked down like, oh shit.
Anyway, what I was saying there, I'll have to slow it down because Darren was getting real confused. Slam that a little louder next time. Don't do it. You just bought it. Okay. Anywho, go to Cincy Wrestling's YouTube page. Okay? Check them out. Subscribe to them. Make sure you watch their past videos and their future videos. You can also go over to Facebook, Cincy Wrestling on Facebook, and give them a like. While you're there, Battle on the Border Pro Wrestling. We'll be there the 31st. We are going to be inducting our first ever member of the Double D Podcast Hall of Fame. And this will be a yearly thing, by the way. I want to make this clear. I don't know if I kind of forget sometimes what I've said before on the podcast. This will be a yearly thing. I did say it earlier because I mentioned the thing.
Well, yeah, but we've done it so many times.
So every single year it'll be announced on the 31st whether there is a Battle on the Border event or not. So that'll be something new. And then also, and it might be somebody who's on the Battle on the Border. It might not be somebody, but it'll always be announced on the 31st.
Yes.
And then we'll go from there. And then we'll be presented with an award, which again, we'll reveal also that day.
Comes from the heart.
Our clue this week, last week, it was something about a beard. This week, they don't have a beard, I think. This person has a beard.
This person has no beard.
No beard. This one is this guy is a family man.
He's a family man.
Now, take that for what you will. Go back and watch all of our interviews because another clue was that he has been interviewed on this podcast before.
Yes.
So make sure you go and you check out our past interviews. And I also want to say thank you to everybody who has watched us. It's been an absolute blast. It's been an absolute pleasure to be doing these interviews with these wrestlers and getting to work with AJ from Cincy Wrestling, to be able to work with Denim, to be able to work with all these people. It's been an absolute dream come true, and I don't know if the people out there go to these shows enjoy us or not, but I hope they do, and I hope we can continue to work together. I don't know, it's been a really, really cool experience, and we are hoping to get better and better as we go on.
Yes, but let's get into the serious point. So, you guys notice our studio has changed, right? Well, it's in a room now, but the real question is, for our 2-year anniversary, when we do a show for it,
It's coming up.
confetti blaster.
I mean, I have to clean it, so you can do whatever you want.
Confetti blaster.
Yeah, no, our second year anniversary is coming up. April 25th will be our second year. We'll get an episode out. Either we'll film it on that day or we'll get it out on that day.
Yeah.
It'll be somewhere close to there. It kind of just depends on what day it falls on this year.
But it is coming up quick.
It's coming up quick, and once it gets here, we will celebrate. It probably won't be in this room because I want to make sure we have Death Machine,
Yeah, I want to get all the original people back on
Tyler,
it,
get a bunch
so.
of people here and celebrate the 2 years. Coming up here soon.
Even Devin and Dylan, we try and get them out here
Yeah.
too. Yeah, everybody that's been on the podcast, my little brother has been in the background, but I'd like to get him here on the podcast and just have one big celebration for our 2 years. Because honestly, when we first started this, I didn't think we'd make it. I didn't think we'd make it 2 years.
It's been weird, yeah. We came up with it on such a whim. Like I had started listening. Funny story, and this could be a whole episode on its own. The reason I even started listening to podcasts was because I heard that Joe Rogan was going to be interviewing Kanye. Now, at the time, Kanye was not Kanye that we know now.
Yeah.
Kanye was running for president, and I was like, I want to hear what his thinking is. And then ever since then, I've kind of just been, I listened to like, I don't know, 50 podcasts, different podcasts. I listen to like 3 or 4 a day while I'm at work. And then I just delved into it, and then it's been a lot of fun. Like our first year was a lot of fun getting to learn how podcasts work in general. Yep. We weren't on YouTube, so there's a whole backlog. If you've been watching every single YouTube video, check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio. All of where we're on, as far as our audio goes, is in the description. There's a little link that you can click. It's a link tree. You can click on that. You can find us on where we're available on audio.
And then the Anchor app.
Anchor.
We'll go into that, but you scroll down past where like YouTube stops, and keep going down, that'd be like the old episodes. Like episodes is almost 2 years old.
Yeah, because almost everything is labeled like with the same name, in order so people can go back and watch.
And then it goes in numbers too. We got it numbered.
Yeah. Also, all of our audio is numbered. Our videos aren't because we started midway through.
Yeah.
But our audio is. So this is like episode 67, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, and originally our plan was like do one a week. Then it was like you realize how hard that is because.
Well, and I threw a curveball with a child.
Yeah,
so.
Darren has a kid now. We don't live together. We used to live together when we started this. Now we live in different places, so it's a lot more difficult. But man, that first year, I was like, every time I think back on like that first year of the podcast, it was a lot of fun. We just used to sit a phone down and just talk about whatever came to our minds. It was wild. There was a lot of things that were talked about. And then we started to kind of condense and like talk about one thing. We've had really, really funny moments. And then this second year has been a lot more about trying to work as a business, but yet still have fun. So it's hard. It's hard to like, do these interviews and still balance like having like last week we came up with the episode of the reasons why men suck.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a fun episode, a little bit more lighthearted, possibly controversial. But it was supposed to be that. It was supposed to. We're trying to do different things. So we're not strictly just a wrestling podcast, which makes it a little bit more difficult.
Broad.
So we try to do everything we can, but that first year was about fun and learning the business. The second year is more business oriented. Who knows what the fuck?
Third year is going to be conquering the business.
Year 3 is going to be interesting.
That's what's going to be. That's my goal, is we're going to conquer podcasts.
We're making a lot of there's a lot of things that I have planned for
There's a lot of change that's going to happen.
I haven't abandoned the idea of making my own YouTube channel. It's just right now with the
We're having troubles with equipment.
My phone, like we record with Darren's phone. The phone that I have won't record for anything like longer than 5 minutes for whatever reason. I'm gonna get better at like posting on Instagram and stuff, and we're just gonna get out. We're gonna get our name out there.
And the older my child gets, the more we'll be able to put content out too. So I mean, this is only the once every like week or every 2 weeks is it's kind of like a what's that word?
I don't know.
It's not. That's not what we plan to do. Because the older Ian gets, I mean, obviously we're going to be able to put longer and then more videos out.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually we're going to be able to put more content out. But right now it's just kind of iffy. And then I moved back to my parents' place, so that's a thing. And then it's just, we're working still.
It's been a wild year. And yeah, that's another thing. So like in the future, like I know, like we'll have something involved with Battle on the Border coming up here soon, as far from a video standpoint. Before the end of the year comes out, I'd like to do a year in review with Death Machine and Tyler.
Yes.
So I want to plan that. We have a lot of...
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, we have a lot of... There's a lot... I always try to... It's so easy to come up with the topic. It's just getting the people here, because Death Machine works third shift, which makes
it hard.
It
makes it really hard.
Tyler works weird hours, and then I work during the day, and Darren has a kid, and he works different hours.
And I DJ on weekends. So
yeah, it's a lot. So
it makes it difficult.
I just wanted to get that out there because, I don't know... I honestly don't know. I mean, we have people come up to us and talk to us sometimes, like at Battle on the Border shows.
Or at Sherman, we've been told that they watch our videos. Tyler's been recognized outside at a gas station. So
it's cool, but yeah, it's just hard. And then I don't know. I just wanted to throw it out there that, and you brought it up, like you said, the 2 years coming up soon.
Yep, 2 years is coming up soon.
So we're entering into our third year.
So we're going to figure something out for the 2 year video, but we're not sure what it is yet. Or at least we may know, but you may not.
Yeah, we're not.
You won't know.
And I won't be late this time. I was late last year.
No, we'll be on time this time.
I'm not going to be late.
So,
but thanks.
Confetti blasters will be used now that I got confirmation on video.
Yeah, I'm going to be cleaning it up. So why do you care? You shouldn't have asked permission. You should have just done it.
Well, I just didn't want to freaking sit here and poof through you motherfuckers, and you were like, dude, my house.
Oh, it's going to suck to clean up. Don't get me wrong. It's going to suck.
Dude. Still finding confetti in the garage. Still,
I believe it.
A year ago, we were still finding. We set I think like 2 or 3 confetti blasters.
Yeah, when I got here, by the time I got back to the garage where we used to film, it was just full of confetti.
And
I didn't get to see.
Hopefully, Derek doesn't miss this next one. Mm-mm. Hopefully, he's actually present.
I was busy the last time,
so that
I apologize.
Women.
I had previous engagements. Excuse you.
You ain't never been engaged.
I said I had previous engagements. I had something planned that day, okay?
All right, well, I
just ended up getting there later than I thought.
Yeah.
It was a birthday party. I was at a birthday party.
Well, let's do fucking...
Were you drunk?
No, you do that. I'm going to do this.
All right, to end this, real quick.
Damn, are you drunk?
No, I haven't done anything yet.
I think that's the one you couldn't open.
We're ending the year really soon. We're getting really close. So this is to 2022. It's been a great year. This isn't our last video of the year, so
no, it's not.
It's getting close, and we're starting to get real sentimental.
But this is also to the Denim and AJ for giving this wonderful opportunity.
And most importantly, this goes to the people who have watched our videos, who listen to us, who give us actual feedback, people who are like, hey, I didn't like that last episode, or hey, I thought you could have done this better. We appreciate you because we do agree. I love the constructive criticism.
And wrestlers that are willing to come on the podcast. And actually, there's some wrestlers that really want to come on the podcast. We just haven't had a chance to get them on yet.
So, everybody who has been involved in the last year, that we have grown a lot. At least as far from my perspective, we've grown. Maybe not necessarily through views or listenership, but just through like life experiences.
Yeah.
This is an unbelievable thing. It's been a crazy year. It's been a wild year. It's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs. We'll continue to grow. And like I said, we're not even done yet for the year. No. It's just like right now, I think we're both realizing like, holy shit, we're going into year 2. We're really excited about next year.
But nothing's going to stop us from climbing.
But nothing's going to stop us, baby.
We're going to keep going. We're going to keep trucking right through this damn thing.
So,
next train.
Real quick, we'll hit our socials up before we do this to end this. Then the podcast do this little shot thing to end the podcast. So
I'm
real quick,
chug this whole fucking thing when we do that.
Okay.
So that was fair.
Real quick, you can follow us on Instagram, _D_podcast. You can follow us on TikTok, Double D Podcast 1. You can follow me on Twitter. I tweet during AEW and sometimes randomly when I feel like it. DJDub00 on Twitter. Let me think. Like I said, I have a link tree in the comment section below. You can find all the audio version. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends and family.
And we have a Facebook, the Double D Podcast. And if you just love me, add my Snap, Darren, 1134567889. And on top of that, I am a DJ, and I play at a local bar, or a bar, Sherman House, Batesville, Indiana. If you ever get bored and you see me posting on Facebook about it, stop on out. It's always a good time at the Sherman House.
Always a good time.
Especially when I'm there. It's always a party. But my DJ number is 812-212-1675, and you can also email me, because I look at my email quite a bit. The phone calls, don't do that, because I don't answer random phone calls.
Leave a voicemail.
Well, yeah, voicemail. Yeah, if it's important, voicemail, for sure. But email is the best way of contact. It's darren.schneider94@gmail.com.
There you go. Now, here's to the growth that we've had this year. And bottoms up.
Continue to next
year. And we'll
year.
continue. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, thanks for taking off your microphone. I don't know why we got so, like, serious there, but I don't know. I think every time we talk about the podcast, like, you know,
oh, what a rush!
It's just wild. It's just wild to think. Like when we started this, we kind of got off topic here. No, we're not going to quit real quick. I just wanted to get this out. Like I think I said this before. Like when we started this, I started it because I started listening to podcasts, and then like I had somebody tell me, "Hey, I think like, oh, you have the voice for a podcast. You should do it." And then we had people living with us at the time who said that they went to school and they had to do a podcast for a project. So we were like, okay, we have experience. The original plan for this was to have like I can't get this open. Was literally to have like a scripted, like a scripted podcast, and then talk about different things. And honestly, it wasn't a terrible idea. And then we go into the next like year. Those people had left. They came. Yeah, it's on there. Oh, I heard it. What was it? There you go.
Ow! And, that fucking hurt my hand like a motherfucker.
But they had left, so then we were like, well, what do we do? And then me and Darren used to always joke around about being, you know, the Double Ds.
We were going to get Double D merch made, or Double D clothing line.
Yeah, we always used to joke about that, so we were like, well, fuck it, we'll just call it Double D Podcast, why not? And then it's grown so crazy. We used to, like I said, just sitting the phone down, talking with friends, and now we're doing... You know, we're contacting people with interviews, doing reviews, getting noticed places.
Building weapons and getting autographs.
It's been a wild ride. It really has been. And I think, like I said, this isn't our last video of the year, and I'm sure we'll get even more sentimental.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into the really good one in the 2-year.
But it's just, I don't know, randomly it hits us, and we're like, holy shit, we're doing something pretty cool. So.
Oh, yeah, it's always badass. And then we get involved in a wrestling group. You know, I grew up, I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
I've learned more in the past year about wrestling than I have my whole life.
I've been doing my best, guys.
I mean, I played the WWE
games,
wrestling games. And I mean, I knew the Hardy Boys because my older brother always, DMX. He was a fan of both of those
I mean
guys.
DX.
Yeah, DX.
DMX is a rapper.
Yeah, I completely fucking. Wait, I used to have back
Rest
in
in
the day,
peace.
in my old bedroom, DX written right on the wall.
I do remember that, yeah.
So between those two, between that and my older brother is the only bit of wrestling that I've known. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Been a while.
Definitely fun to learn. It's always fun to learn shit. You learn new shit every single fucking day. If you think you know it all, you better step 9 steps back. That way you can actually learn.
9 steps back.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna know it all.
That's right.
Not in a lifetime.
That's right. All right, let's end this. Thank you guys
thanks
for watching.
That was almost 15 minutes long.
We got real sentimental there for a minute. I don't know what happened.
Good podcast.
Here we start talking about our podcast, man.
Hey, podcast.
Oh, hey, we forgot something. We're going to have to start the audio back up. Go ahead and start it.
Is it fucked up?
No. I forgot to mention something very specific, very important. Start it up.
All right,
we're done with the sentimental stuff.
We're back again.
We're done with our act of being sentimental.
We're back again.
We got you guys. Haha. Now listen.
What are we doing?
I'll tell you what we're doing.
What are we doing?
On Facebook right now, I have
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
I have a very important thing. So I started this back on December 1st, and I started it was for stopping soldier suicide. Let me read it exactly what it is on my Facebook.
Yeah,
so
I
don't
just
get
seen him
anything
post
wrong.
about it. I still have yet to donate. I gotta get a job first.
So we have, it is called Stop Soldier Suicide. It's on Facebook. It is a fundraiser that I have decided will go to getting rid of my mullet. If you hate my mullet, because a lot of people apparently do. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I give props to people because they at least tell me to my face.
What's the thing is? Everybody loves Brian Pillman's though. What's the difference?
Well,
I mean, shit.
fuck Brian Pillman.
What's the fuck's the difference?
No, Brian Pillman's a mullet man. I can't diss another mullet man. Here's the point. It goes to a really great cause. So even if it's just $1 or $2, anything right now will help. It's a very great cause. Soldier suicide is unfortunately the way that they get treated when they come back to this country is absolutely despicable.
Dog
And
shit.
They need to get treated, and unfortunately, soldier suicide is mental health is a very big part of that. So if you donate to this, it'll help to bring awareness to soldier suicide, and it'll hopefully go towards hopefully one day actually treating veterans the way they deserve to be treated. So it's a great cause. Absolutely love it. And I would gladly lose my mullet as long as we can hit certain goals. Now, I already gave you guys a little bit of a cheat. I donated myself $100. I don't want to lose my mullet, but I donated $100 alone to this just to give you guys a head start. If we raise $1,000, I will get my mullet cut into whatever hairstyle I want. $2,000, you guys get to choose my next hairstyle. $3,000, I shave my head. $4,000, I shave my hair and beard. And $5,000. This was something that
I wanted.
well, what's the $5,000?
5,000 was you shave your eyebrows.
No. Well,
You're
I'm not shaving
everything.
I'm not shaving my eyebrows.
$5,000 he shaves everything.
I have got
All of
somebody
it all.
who I used to work
Completely
with.
bald, everywhere.
I got someone who I have previously worked with who said that they wanted to get on in this action. His name is Justin. Justin, he said if we get $5,000, he will also shave his beard. He's already bald, so he can't shave his hair, but he will also shave his beard. So there you go. There's 2 people that are now on the train here.
And not only we hit 5,000, I'm gonna shave his head.
Yeah, if we hit 5,000,
I'm gonna
if we
shave
hit
my head.
3,000 and I have to shave my head, it'll be for an episode, and we will shave it live. Well, not live, but on camera, so it'll be a podcast episode. So that's just a little extra incentive.
And eyebrows.
I'm not getting my eyebrows shaved. I've taken it back.
They don't hit 5,000 then.
I've taken it back
They
since then.
might slip. Oops, you shaved one, you gotta shave the other and make them
We'll
match.
see. All right, fine. $4,000 we'll throw in the eyebrows.
I was going at 5,000, but hell, you're gonna give it a 1-up? All
Yeah,
right, cool.
I'll give them a 1-up because listen, we're not gonna hit this goal because nobody is donating. Donate just for the sole
You
reason.
just uploaded it on Facebook.
A week ago. The point is, this is just a little extra point. The ultimate goal of this is to raise awareness for a very important, fundraiser that I absolutely love and want to support.
Then watch Derek go completely bald.
But this gives you guys an extra motivation. Like I said, people always tell me how much they hate the mullet. Oh, gotta get rid of it.
I kind of like the mullet though.
Yeah, I do too. But you know what?
You got the curly hair for it too, so I mean it works.
I think I'm a sexy beast with it. The point is, the moral of the story, unfortunately, though, is that there's people out there who don't like it, and they said, "I'll give you $100." This is what happened. No joke. At work, somebody told me that they would give me $100 if I would cut my hair. And after thinking about it, I said no, of course. But I said, you know what? Why don't I do this? And all the money goes directly to this fundraiser, so none of it goes to me. It's all to them through Facebook. So make sure you go, you check out the fundraiser, and we support the troops here, support the veterans.
I gotta ask the big question though. When does this end?
It ends January 1st. So you have 30 days, technically 31 days really, to get this done. And now it's already December 9th today?
Yep.
It's December 9th. So and this isn't even uploaded on the 9th. This is uploaded after. So the point is that you have limited time. So you have very little time left.
I will share this too on my Facebook because I actually seen they posted it a week ago. So,
but
I will share it that way.
Any bit helps, even if we don't reach those goals. Just any bit helps for real. On the most important thing.
Even if it's $500, I mean that's better than nothing.
Yeah, we just want to raise some money for a great charity.
If
so
you got an extra $1 in your pocket,
I know it's tough.
The economy's hard right now, but if you got an extra $1 in your pocket and you just throw it toward that, do it.
I was gonna say it's a tough time right now.
Say no to that candy bar and put it towards something actually good.
I'm gonna say it's a tough time right now because of the economy and Christmas and everything going on right now. So I understand that, but any little bit helps. So even if it's just $1, I don't actually know if you can donate $1. I don't know what
or something like
I was gonna say. I don't know what the limit is on Facebook, but any little bit helps. And if you don't donate through Facebook, you can, I'm sure, go to their website and figure out how to donate there. So you don't necessarily need. I mean, in order for it to count towards the fundraiser, I would appreciate it if you could use that. But if you send me like a proof that you donated through their website, I'll add it to it.
Yeah.
So just make sure it doesn't even have to be through my Facebook, but it has to be this certain fundraiser. So please check out my Facebook. If you're not friends with me on Facebook, you can always comment in the comment section below. If you're listening on audio, you can leave a question, and I will try my best to help you out. And like I said, we'll figure it out. If you're following me on Instagram or whatever, TikTok, whatever, you can hit me up and we can try to figure something out. So anything, I want to make sure we get as much money for this as possible ultimately in the end. But there is a little extra side goal for people. A little side quest.
No incentive. You want to see him bald.
I haven't been bald since like I was 10. So
shaved eyebrows, no beard.
I look like $5,000. I'll pull it off. I'll look like a sexy mofo.
You know, the money is going for a good cause, non-profit organization. We don't make no money on it, and the people that get the money will benefit from it. So just wanted to add that in. Sorry I forgot. I do this every episode. I think I'm going to continue because I like the tradition of being, we're not done yet. Well, yeah, that kind of fucked me up. I'm leaving this in.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, I thought you were going to put it in Dropbox.
I haven't got Dropbox cleared yet.
Bye-bye.
For now.
Yeah, sorry. Ow! Jesus. There's barbed wire back there.
Dude, don't fucking hit
Did
my
I
weapon.
cut myself?
You shouldn't have fucking hit my weapon.
Anyway, bye-bye, guys. We fooled you. We fooled you with the little like, oh, we're getting real sentimental. Ha ha! Make me shave my head.